Hello everyone, welcome back to another read Pink Diamond Dart with Susie and Ricky. We were just discussing with last night's read. Tonight we're going to do with the theme will be the divine spark, or what's the divine
Spark.
feminine is wanting or searching for the spark. And with coming into um, everything coming into Leo, the earth is coming into Leo, sun's in Leo, and with Lawrence Gate opening soon, we're going to be feeling a few things, and if Susie here wants to add a bit more to it.
I think what the kicker of that was is last night when we did a reading, what we had in the challenge position for the divine feminine was the page of wands, and I used the words the divine feminine is looking for a spark. And as I do, I go every day. I investigate what energies are at play, and of course, we're coming into Lionsgate on the 8th of 8th, and I went looking for articles, and I listened for the universe, and I watched for synchronicities, and there was an article about Lionsgate that literally said divine spark. And for mine, that was an indicator that that was something to dig into a little bit more. Like Ricky said, the Lionsgate portal is very powerful. It comes around every year on the 8th of the 8th. From way back in mystic times, lots of ancient civilizations used to look at they call it the spiritual sun. Sirius, when it rises in the sky, they call it the spiritual sun. So we've got our sun that puts all its energy down onto the earth plane and gives us life here on the earth plane, and then this Sirius is considered the spiritual sun, which is when it's rising in the sky, gives us a really beautiful opportunity to ignite that divine spark and rise up into higher consciousness. And like I said, this is ancient wisdom. This is something that has been documented right throughout the ages, and the Mayans, the Egyptians, the Babylonians, you can see it across lots of ancient civilizations. And the kicker of it is that, the energies of the gate has pretty much opened, but it peaks on the 8th of the 8th. Now, the 8 is a number of power and leadership and lots of wonderful things, but this is a really, really powerful boost to anyone who's looking to make that ascension journey. You, divine feminine, you, all of us, actually, we're all at different levels, but I know that twin flames who are really looking to get on mission, that this is a potent energy. So last night when we did the reading, if you haven't seen it, it's up there on YouTube. We called it, what did we call it?
Red flags?
Souls Collide.
Yeah,
if you look at it, it's the one that starts with Souls Collide. But in that reading, we discussed that the divine feminine had in her challenge position wanting a divine spark. And like I said, the synchronicity occurred today where I read an article that quite literally spoke about this divine spark and connected to the Lion's Gate. So as Ricky and I do, we've got, let's read on that. Let's see how that's going to affect twin flames, because the energy is potent. So,
and we also had another conversation on synchronicity as well, and then it come up with having a look into the Lion's Gate.
Fully, yeah. We were even talking synchronicities before we even sort of discovered the article, and went,
The divine.
You can't even make this shit up, right? Sorry about my language. All right, with no more ado, let's have a look at this reading. Queen of Pentacles. We've got the Five of Pentacles. I'm just going to push a little back here. And then we've got the Judgment card in our soul space. We've got the Lovers card come out. We've got the Ace of Pentacles, and we've got the Eight of Wands. All of this under a Lionsgate energy. This is a power-packed little reading. From the bottom of the deck, the Two of Swords, the Magician, the Page of Wands, the Ten of Swords, the King of Cups, and the Nine of Pentacles. Can't even make that up. There's our Page of Wands from last night. He's now a push from the universe. But let's have a look at this base level energy first. There you are, Divine Feminine, on your journey. On your journey to higher consciousness. And this was this strong energy that came out last night. Pretty sure last night that came out in the challenge position for the masculine was the Nine of Pentacles. And what I say for twin flames on this journey, particularly when this card, it does have a strong feminine energy, a strong independent feminine energy. That is somebody who has achieved what she needs to in life. And the one pentacle missing when I'm talking about twin flames in separation is that 10th pentacle. Not to jump ahead, but I see another pentacle. This is going to be an interesting read. So the push from the universe is for divine feminine to push as far as she can go down her own path under these current energies. Remember, we're reading for the Lionsgate energies, which will peak on the 8th of August, but the energy will start to manifest now. It is a perfect time to develop higher consciousness. And the universe is saying, divine feminine, I see you. I see you. Push down that path as hard as you can. Get your 9 pentacles in order, because I want to bring something to you. My masculine. Look at this. Look at this for a pair. Isn't that something? You've got the divine masculine doing her work, and you've got the King of Cups. Is he sitting in a work energy? No, he's sitting in cups. The masculine is sitting in cups. Now, what have we been talking about the past few weeks? Look at the other readings. We're talking about Venus and Cancer sitting together, affecting big feelings and big emotions. And guess what comes over the top of that? A bunch of swords, feeling the extent of the pain. You know how I'm reading this, divine feminine? Keep doing your work. Keep doing your work, because look what you're triggering. Look what you're triggering. Masculine in a cup energy. So whether this is, if this is your divine masculine or whether this is the masculine in you, doesn't matter. If you are twin flames, what affects one affects the other. This is a masculine energy holding cups. And the King of Cups, he holds pure energy. You can drink from that cup quite safely. There's nothing toxic about it whatsoever. And here we're coming to the end of the pain for this connection. The 10 of Swords is going, divine feminine, I want you to experience the end of the suffering. I've got to be careful with the word I use there, because pain happens on this journey. What we want to get is to the end of suffering. So I'm going to be super careful where I use those words. And then pain rises up, and it happens in cycles, and we go through our feel it to heal it process, which again I will not go through in every reading, but we'll come back around to it every now and again, because it's part of the cycle to feel it, to heal it, to move these energies. So it's wanting to get to the end of the cycle of suffering. And how are we going to get there? Pushing through all of this work, bringing this masculine energy into its loving best energy, and working through. The 10 is the end. We're working through the end of the knives in the back, the end of the suffering. Next level, let's have a look. Our spark. I love that the Page of Wands come out.
As a push.
It's a push. Yeah, as a push from the universe.
Feminine is
searching for her divine spark.
Yeah,
like it's like you can't make it up.
The universe is pushing it.
It's pushing it.
It's pushing it.
Lionsgate divine feminine is going to be where you find your divine spark. If you are really, really searching for how to get yourself onto this journey, your divine spark is coming. Look, here comes the Magician. Are you ready to transform? Are you ready to transform? This is the card of the alchemy. The universe really wants you to embrace this big push, this divine spark to get to those levels of higher consciousness where you truly understand what it is to walk as a twin flame. Now, what we want to do, when I see this here, like if I saw the Two of Swords and if it came out like this, I would read it completely differently. I would go, oh, you're still messed up, you're still confused, you don't know where you're going, you don't know what to do. What I want to say to you here now is that, yes, it is still two pieces of information, right? The Two of Swords does lead, you will get different pieces of information that can lead to confusion. But how I'm reading it when I've got it with the Magician, let's go. You've got your divine spark. I'm putting him down. The Magician comes and transforms his energy. This guy is blindfold. You won't see how it happens. You have to trust the instinct. You've got the divine behind you, and yes, you've got your twin flame journey. Yes, you've got your pain and your suffering that you have to get out of and understand the journey. But here's where the alchemy comes in. You don't have to know how it happens. You just have to trust that it's going to happen, because this divine spark has been lit under this Lionsgate energy after we've been through these, Venus and Cancer dancing. We've had Leo and Mercury, and that will end sort of early in August. Then we move into where the alchemy can truly take off, where the changes happen, and where you really have to lean on. If you've any information that you've managed to gather, now shut your eyes and lean back on the divine and watch the magic happen. Oh, this is a cracker. I'm excited. The universe is saying, here's my Queen of Pentacles. Get to work, Divine Feminine. That's what they want you to do. They want you to understand the journey. The Queen of Pentacles, look, here's your 9 way down here. If that's you, you're working strong and independently, and you've got your 9 gathered, she's the master of that journey. She is like, this is the Grand Pentacle. The Queen of Pentacles understands the work that she needs to do as she goes about her business of achieving it. That Queen of Pentacles, like I look at her as like a single mum who has to work a job and look after her kids and clean her house and pay her bills. She's got it all going on, and the Queen of Pentacles does it with a smile on her face. She still manages to be kind and gentle and loving and manage all of the work that it takes to be human. She shows up. She legit shows up. And the universe is saying, look, I see you're strong, you're independent, you've got these 9 pentacles that you're hunting down, and I'm pushing you to do the work from here, and you show up. Here, the push is that you show up. What are you doing? You're feeling a little bit out in the cold, though. It can be a lonely, isolating journey, and that's why we're here. To live like this, to push like this. I know you talk to single mums out there who are doing this journey and they're managing it all. It feels like this, legit. It's like going, am I even on the right path? Is there anybody out here seeing how hard I'm working? Will anybody give me a break? I'd really like to kick down that door and see what's on the other side. So could this next little push of really moving into this space where you're working with the divine, could it end up being a bit of a lonely space? It might be, but this is why we're here. This is why the collective exists. Reach out to who you can in the collective and share. Anytime that you feel like you're stuck out there on your own, I remember what that felt like, to feel like, the divine is pushing me through all of this stuff. This was me. Managing a business, managing kids, paying the bills, still managing to be loving and kind most of the time.
You always are.
Having a crack at it.
You always are.
Having a crack at it. But I really resonate with this energy for when I was, being pushed into Ascension. And did it feel like this? Yeah, like I'd be the last one to lock the door at night at work, and last one to go to bed.
First
then,
one in, last one out.
That kind of energy.
Every day.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're looking in at everyone else going, why is it so easy? Or why does it appear so easy for everyone else? And I'm working this hard. And look, I'm not just saying in your physical, because your physical life might manifest very differently. But for me to have that operation running and then to be doing my Ascension journey as well, it felt like it was a pretty lonely place at times. It felt like I was out in the cold. And the one thing that really got me through was being able to reach out to the collective and have conversations and see that, I wasn't alone in this, because it can make you feel a little bit crazy at times. And I know some of the comments that we read and some of the conversations that we're having is this is what happens, going, I don't even know if I'm on this journey, if I'm mad, if I've just been played for a fool. And these energies might come through strongly under the Lionsgate, but the universe says, push hard, Divine Feminine. Push hard. I've got you. This next push for Ascension is going to be a doozy, but I've got you. And here, this is why I say the divine says I've got you, because look what comes into your soul space, the Judgment card. And this next part of the Ascension will be a doozy, because you're going to get closer and closer and closer to understanding what it is to be a Queen of Pentacles for the divine. It's a big job, isn't it? It feels massive. It feels massive, but once you align with the frequency of being, you are a twin flame on a soul ascension journey, and this next push will be a doozy, but the Lionsgate is here to help you get there. Okay, so climbing these stairs to get to know the divine a little bit closer is on the cards. Now, the other thing about this judgment card in the soul space is it comes in, I always read the cards in the upright, and for it to come out says that the divine finds you in good favor. I just want to say that to you, divine feminine. You're found in good favor. The work that you've been doing. This is it's almost like a graduation or a promotion, isn't it? To go from, I know this is like pre-Empress energy, so, technically it moves into like Empress energy, but this isn't a bad pit stop, is it? The Queen of Pentacles. For the divine to look down at you and go, I see you as the Queen of Pentacles, step up, come walk a mile with me. And I know you've walked a lot of miles and it can feel like you've been left empty-handed or out in the cold. But under this push of Lionsgate, which is what we're reading on, if you spend time with the divine and really use this open portal of energy and look even behind it, see this, I'm going to say this is Sirius in the background.
Serious.
See, Sirius star in the background. That's going to, it's your spiritual sun. Your spiritual sun, even this shape around him, we could even say, look, it's almost like a sun shape, and then we've got stars in the background. And here it's like your spiritual sun is calling you to ascend and understand the journey higher. How do you take full advantage of this? Get into meditation with the divine. Silence your mind and let the divine lead you. What is likely to happen? You're likely to have heart chakra openings. You're likely to have third eye openings. You're likely to have crown openings. You're likely to be like download information. You will tap into the 4D interface, and it's just like, I talk about tapping into the 4D interface. Like you turn on your phone, right? You've got devices and you turn it on, and you trust every time you turn your phone on that out in the nothing out there around you is something. You trust that information is going to download out of the nothing because you've got this. How much do you pay for a phone these days? $1,000 if it's a good one. Couple of $100.
Couple of grand you're looking at, definitely.
Yeah. You trust it, right? Yeah. Let's say you spend $1,000 on your phone. You are a $1 trillion piece of biotech, right? You trust this $1,000 piece of biotech to turn on, and it will download information out of the nothing, but you don't trust yourself, a $1 trillion piece of biotech, that when you're switched on and plugged in and turned on, that you can't download.
Piece of technology we are.
It's priceless. You know why I say $1 trillion piece? Because they're trying to remake us.
Yeah.
They're trying to recreate the brilliance that we are in robots and devices that can download out of that 4D interface. You can do it. You just got to tap in, switch on, plug in.
Mm-hmm.
And under these Lionsgate energies, it's supercharged. So trust yourself to be that $1 trillion or priceless piece of biotech that we're talking about. And you can look, this one's even got antenna to make it a little bit easier. See? Yeah. This represents the cosmos, or but if it's plugged into the 4D interface, it will download the information that you need to continue your work here as the Queen of Pentacles for the divine. What is your challenge? Oh, are you surprised? Are you surprised? No, me neither.
No.
What is your challenge? The Lovers. So the Lovers comes out for our twin flames because it is the major arcana of tarot. So it is that higher order connection. It does have the divine challenges that are attached to it. So what comes through? If we look here now, I made these cards so I can tell you what's on those trees, even though they don't necessarily look like apples. They're apples.
They're apples.
These are apples, right?
Like them apples.
You like my apples.
Like them apples, right?
Yeah. Sorry, we're bad. That's bad.
We get into our own.
It's
Sorry.
just silly. Apples. Let's get on track. Sorry. See, now I've lost my train of thought because the Lovers, and they have what's gonna be your challenge to actually move yourself through these Lionsgate energies? That's where I was going. On these trees is apples, just like in the original story of Adam and Eve, where they were tempted to step out of the Garden of Eden. It was like to bite the apple, and they were driven into worldly, to understand they came out of paradise basically. Now what happens is under these energies, the suffering, really, if you want to stay in the suffering of the twin flame energy, it's really like taking a bite of that apple and taking yourself out of the Garden of Paradise. Because where these two are beautifully connected, where there's no hurt, no pain, no drama, no suffering, is on the other side of the veil. Like your 5D connection is alive, well, and it is fine. It is beautifully connected. And here with your little antenna on top of here, as your $1 trillion piece of biotech that you are, you can tap in to your twin flame connection anytime you like. The struggle that you'll have to really take advantage of these Lionsgate energies is to get out of your chaser mentality, or getting out of the worldly mentality of what these two vessels are about, and to spend time up in that 5D space where your connection is alive and well. Because you are soul energy, and you can tap into that joint consciousness anytime that you want to move. And actually, you triggered me, Joni. We spoke today. I love your questions. You give me great questions for fuel. She actually asked me today, when I was in separation, would I meditate on the twin flame scenario? And my answer to that question was yes, I did, but I was very, very careful about the meditations that I would do. So this is where I think it's really it's on point to answer Joni's question here in this scenario, because part of eating that apple in the tree is to meditate on bringing your twin flame back to you and keeping it about the fluffy side of the connection, or like this physical reunion side. But if you can get into a meditation where you're actually tapping into the joint consciousness because you're looking to download knowledge about the journey, that's super healthy. And it will be supercharged under the Lionsgate portal. So I definitely did do meditations that were based on the connection, but I never sunk into connections that were promised to bring my twin flame back. I didn't do the fluffy ones. I chased after information that was about the journey, and I meditate just about every day to connect with the divine and take down information, but particularly when I was in separation, to understand who I was. And the kicker here is going, what is your intention? Are you going to bite the fruit and go back into chaser mentality, because that's the temptation of the world, that you want that physical connection back? We all know that's a baseline, that we all enjoy the physical connection of our relationships, but you don't have to wait for reunion of these physical bodies to enjoy the beauty of your connection. And Lionsgate will elevate that process for you. So if you can meditate, if you focus, you can focus your meditation on whatever. You can meditate on getting to know the divine better. It still helps you get to know your twin flame better, because you're one and all. You're always connected, whether it's to this person and the soul energy that you share, or to the divine. They're one and the same. So however you set up that ascension journey, just know that under the Lionsgate, it's going to be power packed, and you're more than likely to have your heart space explode, open, your third eye wide open, your crown. Those higher energies are likely to really get a boost in receiving downloads via your $1 trillion piece of biotech. And here, look, here's what we saw earlier under these energies. Our 10th pentacle. And we've been seeing this in a couple of readings, haven't we?
Last night was in the masculine side.
The masculine brought the feminine, and the 10th pentacle with the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah. And this time we're seeing the advice from Spirit is to seek that 10th pentacle, isn't it? It's like but, like I say, in the right vein, what is your intention? Is your intention to, slip back into this mentality and biting the apple? and slipping out of paradise by just chasing the physical connection and not chasing knowledge about oneness and separateness? Or are you going to go after the Holy Grail, the 10th pentacle that brings it all together, the 10th pentacle that brings you understanding and alignment and any information that you may be missing to get yourself through the next bit of your ascension journey? Lion's Gate is going to pop that wide open for you. I can feel it. It started. So I'd be meditating on these energies from tonight. I'd be well and truly into it every day for the next couple of weeks, and even on the other side of Lion's Gate, to download as much information as you can, understanding oneness and separateness. That's the kicker for me. This is bringing a 10th pentacle to the 9, and coming into levels of clarity and understanding. This is you, Divine Feminine, on mission, at work for the divine, with your 10 pentacles in place. It's a thing. It's a thing.
Can't make it up.
Can't make it up.
Can't make it up.
What is the likely outcome? Look at this. Action. Fast-paced action. And the 8 of Wands is also, you guessed it, communication. 8. 8 for the Lion's Gate. That is the number of Lion's Gate. It's on the 8th of the 8th. 8th of August is when it has its pivotal moment. So your likely outcome is an 8. Gosh, damn, you can't make that up. And this is, like I say to you, when I see the 8 of Wands around for twin flames, I don't always relate it to communication. I don't. Because it can, twin flames are such a complex beast that it's, when you read 8 of Wands in a traditional read, it can be certain things, but when I read it for twin flames, and I'm going, is this communication in the 5D? Is this communication in the 3D? Is it communication, where does this sit? So how I generally read it, and how the divine and I have agreed, is this is process in place. Wherever communication exists, see, and like you've got this idea of the void up here, but there's nothing in the void. There's a something. There's all of these particles that are talking to each other. And look at you, firing all these wands with all of this fiery energy currently at play. Here's you down here, right? Looking up. Looking up. Here's the sun in Leo with all of this fiery energy over here. And Sirius will rise low in the sky and start to put its energy in. That's your spiritual sun. So for mine, the 8 of Wands comes in and says to you, processes are in place. And this is where faith, hope, and love, this is where you lean in on it. It's the time when you're asking questions of going, remember we had this over here? We've still got the am I, but you're blindfolded. And all of this magic is happening, and you've got to trust that the information in your hand is correct. Am I a twin flame? Am I on the path? Am I going to get this right? And the magician says, yes, you are. All the processes are in place, Divine Feminine. That's it. I like this outcome under the Lion Gate energy, because it says to me, you're going to make the most of it.
This is a good read for the feminines.
Oh, what have you got for me? First card out for the Divine Masculine. I'm not going to mention how much red I see there. I'm letting it go. from our reading last night, which we did on red flags. Letting red flags go, just saying. The Justice card comes in, where like this wants to be balanced. This wants to grow. This wants to come into... See, we've got the scales here, where it wants to be even and balanced. But to get justice, there has to be a cutting away of anything that's not serving the connection. So under the Lion's Gate energy, if this is, look, this is you as the Queen of Pentacles working for the divine, and like being pushed really onto your mission and understanding who you are and what you're meant to do, that brings a level of justice, right? You've stopped the chase. Oh, sorry. You stop the chase. Now, when I say that this swings and cuts away anything that doesn't serve, I'm also talking about a return serve of karma, which we've got Saturn in retrograde, which is, likely to bring about karma. This is swinging a sword of truth for clarity and to bring things into balance. I don't doubt that this 8 of Wands over here with the processes in motion and you getting to work as the Queen of Pentacles is going, it's going to cause a karmic reaction that is designed to bring the divine masculine into balance, designed to cut away anything that is still holding him back from getting onto this journey. Tell me what you've got as the... Why? No. I hate seeing this here. Now let me sit on it for a minute. I guess, see, here what we've got is justice, right? And here what we've got is a thief in the night sneaking away with all the swords, leaving these two standing in the ground. And I want to say this is the truth and this is the justice. And look, maybe he's sneaking away and trying not to face all the crappy things he might have pulled. Maybe he's looking back over here going, I'm sorry for the... Look, I'm sorry, what have we got over here? Maybe he's saying, I'm sorry for the Ten of Swords in the back. The Seven of Swords does not normally come about as a card that's got any regret or remorse. This is somebody sneaking away in the night, trying to get away with something. I want to tell you something, Divine Masculine. You're not going to get away with it. This is the push from the universe. And the universe is swinging a sword of truth and justice. I want to tell you something else, Divine Masculine. Your Divine Feminine, she's on board. She is on board. She is doing her work. And look, this is why the Lovers comes through as a challenge, because Divine Masculine, what are you trying to get away with? Do you really think that you're going to be able to sneak away like a thief in the night under these massive energies and the universe won't swing some karma your way? Am I being harsh? I think I need to unpack this reading a little bit. But the Seven of Swords coming out. And look at this, you know. Look at these. They're actually really tough energies. The Divine Feminine is working away, feeling like she's left out in the cold. And look, you know, here, look the way I've held them. She's looking over in his direction and he's looking away. He's left the two swords, the truth and justice, in the ground, and he's sneaking away. He's actually running into her, though.
Yeah, 5 pentacles and 5
he's about to bump into her. 5's the transitions, and we've been talking a lot about that's actually 7 of Swords, but he's carrying 5. Yeah. So it is a transitionary energy. Maybe my first gut reaction is that he is about to bump into the truth. Maybe, and that you can only get away with the crap for so long before you bump into the truth. And look, she's sitting there waiting. She's sitting.
Come here, boy.
But she does not want to get cut by those swords. If he's going to... Look, he's not watching where he's going.
And that's why she's sitting on the side of the path.
It is. And it could be clumsy communication that's coming through, because 7 of Swords is about trying to get away with something. So it's like... Can you imagine if Divine Feminine is going through this level of ascension under Lion's Gate and he bumps into her with clumsy communication? He's the one who's going to get cut up by the sword. It's messy.
It's messy.
Yeah, we've been there.
I've done that. Trust me. Oh my God.
Look, if I lean back into it and I go, if we're reflecting on our experience for the purpose of...
We read mostly from our experience.
Yeah. And we look back and go, when were we in these energies? I can actually... This was what our first reunion looked like after we we hadn't seen each other for 2 years.
Oh my God!
It was like crash, and it was clumsy communication. We still didn't know how to articulate. I think that's what we're looking at. So maybe there is, and I didn't want to read it necessarily as 3D communication, but we'll dig a little deeper. Perhaps that is what is coming around here. While you're feeling out in the cold, you might bump into clumsy communication or finding out that he's trying to get away with something. And this is why it's feeling like you're left out in the cold. There might be some information, because I'm very acutely aware that these swords are communication, and I'm very drawn to the fact that he's left 2 in the ground, and I wanted to call them truth and justice, and he's trying to run away with a whole bunch of bullshit ideas. He's looking in the wrong direction, and he's about to crash into Divine Feminine, doing her work in isolation or feeling a level of isolation.
I want to point it out, but look at the circus at the back of the swords.
Oh, you're right. You're right. He's running away from the circus. Maybe. But he hasn't figured out
With his red hot sauce.
There's still, yeah, with his red hot sauce. The Seven of Swords still has an element of trying to get away with something. So maybe, and if we reflect on what we've come across, you know, we still didn't really address the circus when we reconnected. It took a minute to address.
Had to take another separation.
It did. Yeah. To address the circus that was going on. Yeah. I'm kind of leaning into that energy of going, he's trying to get away from the circus. His truth, his justice, the universe has swung its sword, wants to bring some balance. He's running this direction.
He's taking the wrong swords.
He's not looking where he's going. He's going to crash into the feminine isolation. That was the long way round, and I hope you stuck with us through that. What have we got in the soul space? Yeah, see? He wants to boss up. He wants to boss up. But I'm going to go with that. He's running away from the circus. He's running away from the circus, but he's going to crash into a divine feminine who's not going to cop any rubbish.
So a couple of goes to run away from the circus?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
It did. And she's not going to cop any rubbish.
No.
None.
Still hasn't.
Still doesn't.
No, but that's a good thing, though. That's a good thing.
It's healthy. You don't cop my rubbish either. You stand me up.
No.
Look, when we say that about each other, it's very, very healthy. Like we communicate really, really well these days. But this was where it was at. So we're reflecting really keenly on these two cards because I think we're aligning with where we were at that time in your soul space. And last night you said this. I was mocking the Emperor for wearing red flags. And what did you say to me? Because I said you were running around Mach 10 with your hair on fire. You go, his hair's not on fire. He's got a crown.
Yeah.
Right? So here the Emperor is like if he's running away from the circus because in his soul, he might still have his red flags on, but he's trying to boss up. He knows he's got a crown. Here's his Queen of Pentacles. Where is she? Under here. Here's his Queen of Pentacles being pushed by the universe to step up and do her bit. And he's got the push of the Emperor in his soul space. So even though he still has these red, and I can lean on these red flags because we've got him running away. I was going to drop them, but he's running away from the circus. Isn't it a little bit funny that you saw the circus and I didn't?
Like I said, I wasn't just the circus. I was the fucking ringleader.
You were the whole box and dice.
The ringmaster.
And I ignored the circus in the initial instance. So, again, like I do want to lean on this. But I'm going to move on because I could talk about it all night. The Emperor, he's got his crown on. He's got, see that? It's like, and this is what we're talking about in the previous reading. He is trying to boss up. He is trying to get on mission. And the more that you're pushing on your ascension journey and being found in good favor, guess what? We're going to do the old split particle story. There you are as one. Yeah, here you go. As two individuals, but you are from the same soul vibration. Here you are over here, divine feminine, and you're getting this. You're taking advantage of this full push of the 8-8 portal, and you're getting closer to the divine. Guess what it does to divine masculine? It rocks his cage. It makes him want to run away for the circus, even though he's not looking where he's going and he might crash into you and do some damage. He's still looking to boss up, and that's really, really healthy. That energy threw me for a bit, but now I feel like I get the picture of what's going on there. That is a definite shift, a definite change that will, this is movement. This is action. This is the magician. The alchemy is starting to take place. What have you got as the challenge? You know why that's funny? Because what are we reading about?
Abundance.
We're reading about, well, yeah,
Spark,
definitely, but like,
spark.
and we're reading about the spiritual sun, which is Sirius, and the Lion's Gate energy, and we draw the star. What's going to be the challenge for the divine masculine? If you've got in here, you've got the challenge for the divine feminine is the Lovers. And if she manages to overcome that by focusing on mission and focusing on ascension, as she doesn't eat the apple, guess what the challenge for the divine masculine becomes? Her ascension under these energies. What's it going to do to him? It's going to make him he's going to run away from the circus with these swords. He's probably going to trip and hurt himself because he's not watching where he's going and doesn't quite know what he's doing. He's learning how to boss up. The sword of truth is being swung at him, but the way he's showing up in his 3D world is still very, very clumsy. The challenge is going to be he probably won't know why he's feeling this big push under these Lion Gate energies, and it's going to leave him feeling probably. What have you? Show me what the next one is. I'm suggesting we're going to get some confusion cards, because look at these two as a pair of challenges, the Lovers and the Star, and we're going, the push from the universe is massive. Your job is the decisions you're going to make around this connection. Will you eat the fruit? His job is to experience the energies at all. Look, what's his advice? This is what I'm talking about, right? What's his advice? Is to pack up your swords and get in the boat and get away from these rocky waters.
Run away.
Stop. Yeah, look, definitely. Stop the circus for sure, but watch where you're going. Don't look how these swords are neatly aligned in the boat. You've got the rough waters on this side, you've got the clear waters on this side. It's telling you, this is advice from Spirit. It's saying put your swords in a boat and travel neatly out of your situation, instead of not looking where you're going. If you crash into that divine feminine with your clumsy communication divine masculine, you know what you're going to get in return? You're going to get some kickback. The challenge is going to be some kickback, and you're going to go, but I feel the push, but I feel the rise. See the crown on my head? Can't you see I'm an emperor? And you're going to go, don't you run into me with your clumsy communication. Don't you do it. I'm not going to get hurt. You're either going to show up properly, and you don't try and avoid the scenario, the truth and the push and the lift into higher consciousness. If you're going to try and do that, guess what? I'm going to kick back at you, because my challenge is to not fall out of Eden. Oh, get in the boat, divine masculine, pack your swords neatly, and travel. Travel, what's the word? Discerningly. Travel without chaos. Travel without causing harm. Here's the troubled waters on this side. Here's the smooth waters. Do it without causing harm. What have we got? Likely outcome. Oh, again. Man, this card's on repeat.
Yeah.
It's been on repeat for both sides, but it comes out as the outcome. Oh, it's kind of what I'm talking about. It's like communication with collateral damage. Hey, look at... Oh, I don't really want to read it this way, but it's what I'm being drawn to do. In this card, look, he's packed up his swords and he's being clumsy with. And see how he's got two swords on the ground? And over here, it's like I said, don't... But they're standing upright in this one. And what I'm noticing over here is these swords are on the ground. So it's like... and I called them truth and justice. I did. I called the two swords truth and justice. And here, I've got truth and justice. I feel like they're sitting on the ground, but he feels like he's had a bit of a victory with what he's got. Yeah, with the clumsy communication. It's like a victory, but it's collateral damage. So, divine feminine, this is why this comes out for you, and it's pivotal. It's pivotal. You're looking for that divine spark. You're looking for the thing that tips you into that ascension space, and Lion's Gate appears to do it. It sparks you, and by default, it sparks your divine masculine. But what are you going to do when he doesn't know what to do with it? What are you going to do if he knocks truth and justice to the ground? Is avoiding, see, I always speak about this one, the divine's traveling behind him. He feels like he's had a victory, but it's caused collateral damage. Your job is not to fall out of Eden. It's to still understand who you are and still understand that this journey is a red hot process, and that it's going to take. Look, let us stand here as testimony, because we will ask us anything that you want to know about how vulnerable we've been with each other and how much we've put each other through the ringer to get to this point, and how many times we've wanted to walk away from the fight of this. Only to have the divine, when we do our work, bring us back around to the point where we can be in harmonious union. So it does feel, when you get pushed this way, when communication is clumsy, or when communication might be less than what you want or hurtful, that it makes you want to quit. It makes you go, I don't want to push for ascension. I've just had a gutful. Just give me something normal. Okay? it's maybe under this energy it's going to be a particular challenge, but what I want to remind you is that the push from the universe is to transform this, is to bring the alchemy forward. So for you to stick the course, if this communication comes through clumsy and you have to deal with it, you'll know what to do. Turn to the divine. Turn to the divine. You are not out in the cold with the divine, and you are not out in the cold with the collective. You're not out of the cold with us. Out in the cold.
Not out in the cold. Definitely.
We're right here. If you go through any of these scenarios that make you feel like you are out in the cold and unsupported because this is played out for you, just know we're here. We've got you. Reach out.
We see you.
We see you. Oh, do we see you? Okay. Have you got some bottom of the deck? Yep. What have we got? Have we got our Page of Wands there too?
I think that one.
Where did I have him?
No,
Page of Wands. Look.
Oh, was it Page of Wands? There's the spark.
Can't even make that. I cannot even make that up. You've both got the divine spark. Last night in the reading, Divine Feminine, this is what I called the Page of Wands. And like I said,
space too.
It was, yeah. And like I said, today we had that synchronicity. I'm always researching energy, and the article opened that chord that said divine spark, and I said that's what you're searching for. And look, you two, the way I'm holding them, you got your back to each other. So this spark is going to affect you differently. He looks mighty pleased with his. Look at him. Yeah, he looks. Not in red. He's not in red. He's in yellow. And you know what yellow is? It's your sacral chakra, and that is a very, very creative energy. So it's like a very, it's the energy that we do want to draw from under these energies, under the Lion's Gate. So this spark is really, really relevant for you. And, you know, I'm sorry that these don't have any colour so that we can relate.
Put them the opposite sides of each other. They were looking at each other.
They would. Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that you do that, because you hold them and here comes the magician. Look, it's the alchemy. It's the alchemy. Look what you just did. You just said divine masculine just came in and said, why don't you just trade places with them? That's the alchemy. That's the alchemy, right? You literally change. You go from the feminine has been for this time has been like chasing, right? Has been chasing.
Yes.
And then the alchemy happens. Guess what happens now? Just like magic, the masculine is facing her and going, what's going on? I have this divine spark. What do I do with it? Just don't be clumsy. Just don't cause damage, divine masculine.
Careful with your knives.
I'm talking about you, Ricky. Just don't. That's it. I know the spark is confusing, and it's hard to know what to deal with. And we're reading for the divine feminine by and large. So this spark might cause this clumsiness, and it's going to take a lot of patience, and it might even put you at a crossroads as to what you want to do. But what we love about this Page of Wands is that he is dressed in yellow, which is sacral energy, it's out of the red energy, which is the lowest chakras. This guy operates from a much more creative, much more connected energy that will push him closer to the divine under this Lion's Gate portal. I like how you did that. Why can't you just make him face her? That's what we want.
I had to. I had to, so, you know.
So you're saying because you had to, divine masculine, they have to follow your lead and face up?
You can't keep looking away from each other.
No.
At some point, you're going to be on the same vibrations and energies that you'll be actually looking at each other.
Yeah. And then what happens? The end of the burden.
Yeah, you put them burdens down, you put the knives away.
And you make some big decisions. See over here, you've got divine feminine with your spark. Your challenge here, you've got the challenge of the Lovers, which is also a decision-making card. So, do we stick with it? Do we not? Do we eat from the apple? And they are apples. From the apple tree, or do we not?
They're apples. They're apples, everyone. They are apples.
They use apples.
They use apples.
So you've got to do a big decision card coming out as in your challenge position, but the push that you've got, that divine masculine has got from underneath the deck, is feeling this spark under this Lion's Gate energy, And coming to the end of the burdens with the 10 of Wands there, look, you know, like he's pretty persistent carrying this burden, isn't he? But look, he gets to a crossroad. He gets to a crossroad where it's time to make some decisions. He sits at the foothold of taking a step into Ascension. Is quite literally, do I go left? Do I go right? And look what you had over here. You had the 2 of Swords. So, you know, yours, see how different this is. This is a very metaphysical energy where you're relying on your intuition with a bucket load of conflicting information. I hope I articulated that right earlier. Is that with the Magician over the top of it, I see it as you trusting the divine to transform the situation under some conflicting information, whereas his information is more specific. It's like going, I choose this, but I'm standing at the crossroads and I need to make a decision on what is right for my world. Okay, I want to end this burden that I'm under, and I'm feeling the spark from the divine. Oh, I like it, divine masculine. What have we got in this one? Yeah, look, oh, here comes our knight again. Gee, you're not going to be without pentacles, are you? Divine feminine. He wants to offer this. This quite literally was last night's reading. It came through. This is a repeating message. You're going to get your 10th pentacle, divine feminine. Keep doing your work. And if we go, the next step is like when you've got 9 pentacles, there's only one more you can attain till you get to the end of the run of the pentacles. Yes, when you're working in that energy, you are the queen. You are the queen. So she's got it. She's got the 10 of pentacles. And here, divine is saying, you're at the 9. Your advice is to get the 10th, right? That's the advice. Get the 10th. And here comes divine masculine. Again, second night in a row, second reading in a row, where he's on his
stallion.
Oh, his stallion. Right, he's on his stallion. It's a good thing you're here for the divine masculine.
He's on his stang.
He's not on his donkey, he's on his stallion.
Mustang.
His stang. Yeah. Mustang.
Mustang.
Right.
Stang.
Well, this particular horse is a workhorse. He gets up and he works hard every day. And if it's a 12-mile march, this horse keeps marching every day to make sure that he gets to the destination. So for mine, the divine masculine is about to get on track with the work it's going to take to give you this pentacle, divine feminine. There is the 10 to your 9, and even, it grieves me to say, if he's run away from the circus, there's truth and justice in the sand. He's running the wrong way with his, I don't know if he's told you long. Sorry, we're having some technical glitches. I don't know what's going on. But, so what I was saying is that here he is wanting to do the work, and if he shows up, divine feminine, he's run away from the circus. Here's truth and justice. He's ignoring those two, and he might run with a bunch of bullshit. Like, sorry, I keep using bad words tonight.
Fine,
but that's what it felt like. You show it with a bunch of bullshit.
And that's what it was. It was fucking bullshit.
Yeah, yes. It was a bunch of bullshit. So if he shows up with a bunch of bullshit, or that I talk about if the meal's not cooked, put it back in the oven. I must have done it to Ricky about... I
wasn't cooked like 3 or 4 times. I had to go back in the oven.
Back in the oven until we were able to sort this out.
It's just the wrong temperature you was cooking at.
I should have cracked that sucker. I should have fried him. Sorry. Sorry, divine feminine. We digress so bad. If he runs away, if he has made this effort and he's running towards you, let's call it what it is, with a bunch of bullshit, just know that this is the start of wanting to offer a pentacle. We're laughing about it now. You know when people say you laugh because it's true? It's funny because it's true.
It's funny because it's true. And we are able to talk about it.
Yeah, healthily.
Yeah,
healthily. But initially, when this communication come in, it wasn't funny. And yeah, and it did. This energy was very much at play, of not looking where he was going with his dodgy communication, and it leaves you feeling out in the cold. Okay, but the advice there is to bring that 10th pentacle forward. And I was taking that from over here, wasn't I? Yeah. And this one, look, was it in that order? Yeah. Thank you. What to do without you? Strength card, right? For divine masculine to be able to make this kind of effort, to continue to make a daily effort towards what he needs to do, having come out of this and into this, or this is the push against him. It takes a degree of strength. It really does. And what we're talking about is inner strength, some real true willpower that's pushed on by the divine. Now, whatever he's leaving behind is 8 broken cups. Here, I'm gonna call it. He's still got his red cape wrapped around his shoulder. And Ricky was calling him Superman last night, but he's not looking massively super in this depiction. He might still have those red flags wrapped around his shoulder, but he's walking away from 8 broken cups. So whatever was filling these cups that weren't serving him, it is taking some true strength or a push from the universe to gather some true strength to be able to walk away from these 8 broken cups and get in this river with the divine. Follow this path to this, to be able to bring you that 10th pentacle divine feminine, which will allow healthier communication than this to occur. Okay, but I think the kicker of, we've been the long way around on this card tonight because it's a pivotal energy that could cause you to really get some wheel wobble, because you do want communication, and when it comes in and it's bullshit, it makes you question everything. You're going, what am I holding space for this for, right? It makes you want to just tap out. But like I say to you, you'll never regret doing the ascension work. You never will. And the likely outcome is that this will turn into this, which then turns into, where is she? The magician, the alchemy, the transformation. Okay, so this is really where faith, hope, and love shine, trusting the process that it brings you through the magician energy into this offering the 10th pentacle to you. Right, I think we're at the point where we can do some oracle cards. What would you like to do tonight? Divine feminine or divine masculine? What have you got for us?
I might do the feminine.
The feminine. You go first. What have you got there for me? Draw me a card. I tend to, as much as I like to be orderly, I do tend to make a mess with my tarot cards by the end of a reading. They're all combined energies, and under this energy portal, that's a good thing. Cards. What have I done?
I think it was the 8 of Cups one. Was the 8 of Cups one?
Yeah. What have I done?
Oh, no, I was just like, because we're going into the new moon, you could have said like that's sort of like a new moon phase as well.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
And before this Lionsgate, there's a new moon before the Lionsgate.
There is.
I think, I might be wrong, but I think
no, you're
July
right.
28th, I think, is the new moon. And so that's a couple of days, people.
Yeah, it's not far away. It's not far. We'll confirm those dates, but oh, nice. But yeah, you're so right. New moon in Leo, good time to set intentions, especially with your Lionsgate as well.
Away from the 8 broken cups.
Yeah, under those energies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at you go. Okay, so for the divine feminine, yes? What have you got? Reflect. This is very aligned with this energy. And you can even see that it's a very private, isolated space. It can actually show up as like a bit of a hermit energy as well. But this one's really, it's taking that time out. And it can feel very, very lonely. So you might be going over scenarios of the past that have gone, I'm pushing on this journey and pushing on this journey and pushing, and I'm just feeling more and more alone, more and more frustrated, and more like I've not got traction. Again, this can lead you to pushing into this energy. And the Lovers card really does come with making big decisions, especially when it's in a challenge scenario under these massive energies of something like a Lionsgate. This is the kind of thing that could force you to tap out. It really could, and go, I'm really just done with the journey. It's too much of a challenge for me to persist, to continually feel out in the cold. And this energy of reflecting feels like it ties those two together, going, I'm having really, really big considerations to make because I feel so isolated, I feel so disconnected, and the push is for me to want to spend more time in higher consciousness than it is on the planet, which can make you want to tap out of a whole bunch of things. So Divine Feminine, we want you to know that we see you through this, honestly, and that if you just need someone to reach out to talk to, I'll do our little thing now and say that we're on Facebook and Instagram, and if you want to email us, leave a message on YouTube. We want to help through the toughest of times. So don't think for a second that you're in this on your own, or that you have to figure it all out on your own. The collective, that's the purpose of the collective. Yes, we're here to raise the vibration for the planet, but first we've got to get there ourselves. And if we're not looking after each other in this journey, twin flame, we how are we going to get there? It's such a big, brutal journey, and this energy of feeling like you have to do it on your own, wherever I put that down, no, you've got us. It's in there. It's in there. See, look, it's so disappeared it wants to hide. You're not on your own. That's what we want to say. Reflect over everything that you've been through. Push forward for what you've got to go through next, and know that you've got us cheering you on, and you've got the collective cheering. You've actually got humanity cheering you on. You've got this Divine Masculine. Let's draw an oracle for you. See what you've got coming out of these oracle cards. Let's have a look. Do you know what we got? Yeah, look. See, do you see the difference of those two energies? Have a look at them side by side. You have done your work, and now you've got your head down and you're reflecting. Yeah. What has this caused in the Divine Masculine?
It's a wake up.
It's like, oh my God, I'm awake. I'm awake to, and look, I've done this. It's a deliberately grotesque image. Because do you remember what it was like, Divine Feminine, when you were going through that initial waking up and going, oh my God, what is this that I'm going through? It is, I've deliberately made it like a feeling like it's a real struggle energy, or like it has something struggle feel about it. It's not fun.
Nah.
Waking up is not fun. But do you know what we got last night in it? I keep reflecting to last night because it's like, it just feels, Divine Feminine is reflecting. Oh, gosh, you're on fire tonight. Guess what? Divine Masculine is awake.
We're waking up. Wake up.
You is awake. But the reason I'm saying that the reading, it's like they are progressing because last night we had surrender, I think, and we had expanded consciousness. So now we've got you in reflect. It's like a similar energy, but it's kind of the next day. And we've got same over here, expanded consciousness into waking up.
For the masculine too.
Yeah, so they're like the next step. Yeah, I really like that. Can we get one for the connection?
Do you want to do it?
You can. You're waking up. Like I'm in. Like I'm going to quiet mode. You can. Yeah, the connection. Oh,
look at that! Look at how trippy that is.
Was that the next one?
Yeah.
Oh, Divine. If you've been watching what's going, I said last night, this card is coming at me thick and fast. That's the 4th time it's shown its face in 2 days. In what I've been drawing. I'm going to sit that with there. Like, I'm going to take that as a red hot clue that Divine Masculine is awake, and this push against him, the divine spark has got him. Because Divine Feminine, what the heck have you done? You've elevated. You've figured out what that transition energy is all about, and look what's happened to the connection. It is at ground zero. It has grounded. It has hit. You know what I talk about, and I saw it on it's disappeared now, but on the top of the deck was Dark Night of the Soul. I saw it sitting there, and I went, I'm just going to note that it's sitting there. And when you get to the Dark Night of the Soul, you really hit the bottom of the pool. And it's only when you hit the bottom of the pool that you can push off with both feet. Now here, I see these two pushing off with both feet because they've hit the bottom of the pool. They're ready to push for the oxygen, and the Lion's Gate energy will facilitate that. This energy has grounded. It has, it's hit that. We've talked transition, and transition came out again tonight. Yeah, there, look, Ricky's found the Dark Night. This one jumped out at me before. And this is what has caused these moments. I know, Divine Feminine, you've been going through it and really fighting off these dark night energies. So that card didn't come out in our reading, but it was just sitting there on top. And what happens when you come out of this dark night? You're at the bottom of the pool, ready to push off with both feet. You have hit the ground. I love this as an outcome for this reading.
That was an awesome outcome for the reading. And
It's
the messages
beautiful.
that went with this reading tonight was just superb. Was just awesome.
Crackerjack. Yeah.
That was awesome.
Lionsgate is going to be one of the best Lionsgates Twin Flames have had.
Yeah.
For a long time. There's this wave of twins that are ready to come into union are really going to benefit from the way these energies are playing out. And I just want to say, if Divine Masculine shows up and he's clumsy, put him back in the oven, give him a little bit of a break. It worked for me. So Divine Feminine, if that plays out for you, just know I see you and feel free to reach out. We're more than happy to be here to support you through any of those processes.
Yeah. And again, just want to thank you if you've made it this far through the reading and come this far anyway. I want to say thank you again, and hopefully the messages, there's been some awesome messages in here, and that would,
that resonate
with you all. Might not be today, might not be tomorrow, but don't stop fighting and don't stop working on yourselves, and just remember that doesn't matter how far apart you guys are, if the vibrations hit one, it affects the other one, and you will come into union at some stage. And it could be we went through that many unions and separations before we became harmonious in union. But again, thank you for listening, and as Susie said earlier on, we are on Insta, Facebook, TikTok. Hit like, share, and subscribe. And just remember, there's a new moon coming up, and after the new moon, we'll be seeing the Sirius star in the eastern horizons again. After a while, it hasn't been there. So, and we're coming into, Mercury going into Leo. The Earth is in Leo. Sun's in Leo. Meditate underneath this new moon and with the Sirius star, and we wish nothing but love. And from me, adios.
And faith, hope, and love from me. Until we talk to you next time, it's bye from us.
Bye-bye.